Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here again with you. I'm here today on the 11th of October, 2022, with psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are you doing today, Liz?
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we've got a bit of a hit to report. This is to do with, we previously remote viewed General Soigoi, I think, Soigoi.
Mhm.
This guy here, Sergei Sorovikin, is that how you pronounce it? He's just been appointed complete commander or general commander or whatever the military term is of all of the military, including the new Russian republics, so the new ones that voted to be part of Russia. He's now in charge of them and the whole military operation, special military operation. So that's a hit, because Soigo, when you asked him further out, he said he was no longer in charge of everything. Well, this is the guy that's taken over.
Wonderful. So we'll have to probe him. This guy is pretty brutal. And let's see, what am I picking up? He's a really nasty, nasty man. Just so you know, he believes in torture. He will set people on fire. He, and only put the fire out if they're willing to speak. That's how brutal this guy is. So he will, he will douse you in a flammable liquid and set it alight, have a bucket of water, and the only way it's going to go out is if you agree to give them information. This is awful.
Okay, well, these are the people that have been complaining that we should get rid of Putin, and they have to realize that some people behind Putin make Putin look like a saint, and one of the reasons why things haven't happened as bad as they could have done is because Putin is a moderate. Now, this guy's been appointed because he has lots of military experience. There's not that many generals in the Russian army, apparently, who have actual combat military experience in the modern era. This guy has. So he's now been put in charge of the whole thing. And then, of course, first thing we know, because of what happened in the bridge in Ukraine, which was celebrated and claimed by the Ukrainian side. It's believed that their secret police or secret service, the SBU, did it. That's alleged at the moment, but they did claim they did it. I mean, they've actually released information. Yeah. So this guy was he was installed, and straight away we've now seen an escalation in Ukraine, and they are firing missiles at infrastructure, military, and all sorts of things. So that was pretty much his first thing.
Sorry about that. Sorry to cut across. Let me ask you a question, because I haven't been following this. That bridge over the body of water, what body of water was that?
So that's the body that connects Crimea to the mainland.
But does it have a name of the body of water? Do we have a name where the bridge was?
No, actually, that's a good point. Yes.
The reason I'm asking this, okay, is because several months ago, I put out that there would be an incident around or in the water, okay? A massive explosion, a massive incident. And those of you that have been following me for quite some time now, you may remember that. And then I said, once that happened, everything that, just about, not every single detail, but a lot of things that I have said about this war, it's now coming into fruition. I said that there's going to be a massive incident on water or around water, and this was going to escalate the war big time. Okay. I said that Putin would declare parts of Ukraine, or, I said the Ukraine, but parts of the Ukraine as Russian Federation. That has now happened. Now we're seeing a really huge spike in missile attacks on the Ukraine. And that was as a result of that bridge. Now, I didn't exactly know what the incident would be. I just saw this massive explosion. And just as you're talking today, it just hit me. I was like, oh, okay, that's possibly the explosion I saw in water, or, around water, that was going to really fire things off. Now we've got this new commander or general in place. This is where it's coming into fruition. Things are really going to start going downhill. The economy is going to respond to this. They will respond. And then I did say that coming around the latter part of the year, this is many months ago, we would be on the brink of a nuclear war. Okay. If you remember that, Mr. Shakespeare, I wish those videos are going to be posted. They're going to, I'll be salvaged and posted. But anyway, that's what is going on. And that is exactly the information from, moving these people out into the future, moving Putin out into the future to find out what is going on. And now we're seeing it happen. This is why you're going to see a slide in the economy around November. And I got that there was going to be a point where it looks like we're about to go to war, World War III. There's going to be, and I likened it to, the Cold War, where you're going to have missiles in one place and missiles in another place. And I feel like the U.S. is going to start threatening that they're going to respond. And we're going to see this bit of a standoff, exactly as I predicted. Now, let me just say something else. When you say that Putin is a moderate, I could already feel like, the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And now for the audience listening, because they're going to say, no, he's biased, he's blah, 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 and then bring on the hate comments. Okay. But compared to this guy, Sergei Surovikin or Surovikin, whatever his name is, Putin is more, a moderate, right? He is not as brutal and nasty as some of these people that are surrounding him. This is definitely a turning point, which, sorry, blowing my own trumpet here, but I predicted all of this. So anything else you would like to add, Mr. Shakespeare?
Yeah, quite a lot. So
not of personal opinion, though.
Well, no. You asked me what the name of the body of water was, and so it's the Kerch Strait. So it's bordered on the north by the Sea of Azov and on the south by the Black Sea. But this is the Kerch Strait, and it's the Kerch Bridge. That was attacked by Ukrainian people, or it could have been English or American special forces or whatever, but it was definitely attacked.
Okay. Well,
and
let's find out.
Hang on. Civilian. Well, let me just finish first, and then we'll do that.
All right.
Civilian people died. Some people died on there. Civilians died. It was done, they are saying, because you're talking about war, but you have to understand that there are people in the world that actually, to cover up all the problems and the debt and everything that can never be repaid. One of the biggest creators of debt on the planet is war. And so there are people who are trying to goad Russia into a war with the West. There's nothing more that they want than war with the West. Yeah. So the point is now, this bridge was attacked. It wasn't, the bridge was made modular. So Russia built the bridge, and they built it knowing that some people would always want to attack it. It was damaged, but within the same day, the bridge was back in operation. Not complete operation, but one of the roadways, I understand, it was open sort of 8 o'clock on the same evening. Now, and the other thing is, you said that Putin basically took over those 4 republics. No, I'm sorry, he did not. They all voted to be part of the Russian Federation.
Right. I understand that. Hold on. I understand that. But in the prediction that I made months ago, it was that Putin would declare, right? Putin would declare parts of the Ukraine that would be under Russian Federation. So when I say Putin took that prediction was made before any of that land belonged to Putin. So just to clarify that.
Okay. Well, they voted in referendums. Did they want to stay as part of Ukraine? Bear in mind that Ukraine have been bombing them and killing civilians in there for years. And so as they're ethnic Russians, they voted pretty much by an overwhelming majority to be part of the Russian Federation. So the problem we've got now is, and this was, anticipated by the West, every attack now on those areas is an attack on Russia. And, under UN regulations and rules, I mean, that's almost a declaration of war. So this could be where you're going, or where you went before with your prediction. I mean, they are now attacking the Russian Federation. So, imagine if it was America and Mexico attacked somewhere in Texas. I mean, that's the same sort of thing, So they're actually attacking Russia now.
Who is doing the attacking at the moment? Outsiders outside of the Ukraine?
No, it's Ukraine. Well, it's a NATO war using Ukraine as the proxy. So there's lots of Polish mercenaries and all sorts of people, on the side of so-called Ukraine who are attacking, but they're doing it under the Ukrainian flag. At the end of the day, this is one of the reasons why I think this massive missile strike was released. It was just, there's people, there's pictures of, people standing in front of. But what they've done is the Ukrainians, they made a postcard. I mean, you have to understand. I don't get this. So they made a postcard of the bridge on fire where civilians died, and they blew it up massively. They made a big picture of it, and put it on somewhere in Kiev, as a billboard. And then you've got Ukrainian citizens in front of it taking selfies behind it, smiling. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just not getting this. These people they're radicalized. So.
Well, it's definitely, this is what happens in war, unfortunately. And lots of things come out, and then it'll take historians many, many years to pick. And if they have historians like the British, that's one thing you can give the UK credit for, is the amount of historians and research that goes into these post history turning events. So hopefully we'll get some answers after the fact, but I do feel this is pretty much on point with what I've been saying all along. And now it's going to start to really turn that. I mean, what I'm picking up from this guy here is it's going to turn badly for a lot of people. Okay. Really, really is.
I mean, if you're now, they're going to advance it from a special military operation to an anti-terrorist operation, I believe. They still haven't declared out and out war, which is, a legal term. So they're going to turn it into an anti-terrorist operation.
Well, it just depends on everybody's perspective. I mean, that's just what war is. It's just different people perceive things differently, and you'll get reporting from one side and reporting from the other side, and you're going to have very, very strong opinions on both sides. So that's just the way it goes. Now, what is interesting is, can you pull up that bridge, please, that was damaged? Let's find out who did it. Because I don't know why, but I don't know. I'm not going to speculate because I don't want to be biased, but I just have a feeling something doesn't sit right with me. So that's the Kirsch Bridge. Okay.
Let's find a better picture. So do you want it on fire, that one, or when it's been hit, or?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Cookies. Drive mad.
There we go. Okay. So flames and smoke rise from the Kirsch Bridge connecting Russian mainland and occupied Crimean Peninsula. Okay. Now, let's probe the bridge. Do you know who damaged you? Yes, they do. And who damaged you? Did it come from the Russian side? No. Did it come from the Americans? No. Did it come from NATO? No. Did it come from outside of the Ukraine? No. So it was the Ukraine side that damaged the bridge. There was some speculation, and I think on the Discord, there was talk somewhere. Can you probe to see if the Americans have done it? Can you probe to see if the British have done it, or any outside persons that are not affiliated with the Ukraine or affiliated with the war directly? Of course, there's a lot of indirect affiliation, but affiliated with the war directly. And I got to know that it was the Ukraine side that took out the bridge. Now, there will be another attack on that bridge. Every single time they repair that bridge, it is going to keep being attacked. Sorry. Just so you know, that's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm going to move the bridge out to December 31st, 2022, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have you seen more attacks on your bridge since October the 11th, 2022? Yes, several. See, there you go. So this is not the first attack. This is going to keep being reported. They're going to keep taking out this bridge.
Okay. Well, the Ukrainian government de facto, I mean, they admitted, they admitted that they did it, so they celebrated it, in fact. So that's not. There was talk, but I didn't think it was anybody else but the Ukrainians. I mean, they have vowed to destroy the bridge. They've been vowing to destroy it since it was started to be built. So
yes, but it's like with the submarine attack and some other attacks and the pipeline attack. People are speculating and people can claim responsibility, but until we actually probe it, we just don't know.
No.
The Ukrainians could have gotten a lot of help somewhere and they can't disclose that they had a lot of help. But in this instance, this is definitely the Ukrainians that attacked the bridge. I feel like it was almost like a drone attack, a drone strike.
No. Well, it was a truck loaded with explosives that blew up. And the interesting thing is that there is scanning equipment on either end of the bridge, apparently, which is supposed to scan for explosives. But for some reason, something to do with some bureaucratic something or other, it wasn't working.
Oh, right. There's definitely. Okay, so I'm getting a drone. Okay, I'm getting very strongly. There's a drone. They're watching this bridge. They're seeing what is coming and going across this bridge at all times from the Ukrainian side. I feel like they are now somehow being equipped with drones and they're going to do drone strikes. Okay, maybe they have been equipped with drone. I haven't been following it. To follow this very closely, you would have to be turn on the telly all day long and listen to every commentator.
No, that's the last thing you want to do is turn.
Right. For me, I can't do that. Right. I can't do it. But, and that's why I say tag Mr. Shakespeare in the comments on Discord. Liz is not going to read all that stuff because I don't need to. I want to stay as blind as possible. But for this, I do see there are going to be drone strikes. Maybe if this wasn't a drone strike, but I do feel like there's going to be drone strikes in the future. And also there's going to be drone strikes on Russian military bases. Somebody has given them a load of drones.
Okay. Well, somebody has definitely sold Russia a load of drones because they're being used now.
Okay. All right.
That was Iran.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
Iran have got apparently some very advanced drones that can fly for a long way.
Let me pull Iran in here.
And they've sold them to Russia.
Let's pull Iran in here because, a lot of stuff that is reported now, it's going to be, it's going to be very biased And it's hard to find out what the facts are. But like you said, you've got a lot of people that have a lot of clout in this fight. So you, just as you have a lot of countries and people backing the Ukraine, you do have a lot of countries and people backing Russia for whatever reason. There's a whole multitude of reasons that, you know, so I do agree with what you say. And we just will probably never know the truth unless we sat here mind probing every single country. Now, I'm going to pull Iran in as an entity. And for those of you that are new to the channel, just because something doesn't have a body does not mean it does not have a consciousness. So just because it's a whatever it is, it has a consciousness, energy, consciousness. So let's ask it. Did you supply Russia with a load of drones and missiles, by the way? So they just confirmed drones and a lot of missiles, a lot. So there you go. Anything else you would like to add, Mr. Shakespeare?
No, that'll be it. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a hit. Several, actually. Several hits. But thank you very much. And for those of you that have been following me for quite some time, I just appreciate you being here. So thank you.